What's up, all my gnarly ones? It's Gator Mike, and it is Tuesday night, and you know what that means? As always, it's time for some North American E-Racing League Truck Series action. In the booth with me tonight, like I normally got on Tuesday nights, I've got Big Jim. Jim, how are you feeling this evening?
I'm feeling pumped up, man. I'm ready to watch some playoff racing.
We'll get to that in just a second. I've also got Swamp with me in the booth. Swamp, how you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. Participated in Taco Tuesday today, and I'm just loving this nice Ohio weather. Nice, hot, humid, muggy day. I'm doing great today.
It's not as hot and humid as it is in Florida right now, so consider yourself lucky.
What's the heat index down there?
No idea. It's just hot.
Yeah, so there you are trying to come at me with nothing. You got nothing. No facts or anything to back up your statements.
Well, I mean, I can go on there and look right now, but I got to stream up, so I'll get back with you later on that. Anyways, as Jim alluded to, maybe hinted at just a second ago, Truck Series playoffs begin tonight. It is time for these 8 playoff drivers to put everything they got on the table, and they got 3 races to make it to Las Vegas for the championship race. With that being said, your regular season champion and points leader Jaw 2131 is out for tonight. So that leaves the other 7 drivers. They might sense an opportunity to clinch themselves into Las Vegas by winning the race tonight. But to do that, they've got to get around some really fast non-playoff drivers like Kev Brogard and Decent House, who have shown great speed so far in warm-ups and practice. So with the playoffs beginning tonight, Jim, what you looking out for?
Well, honestly, I'm looking out for how these guys take this track. Turn 2 here is absolutely crazy. I mean, it has this weird thing where your truck will turn just a little further left than you expect it to. I'm interested to see who can set up their truck to see who's going to be the fastest in Turn 2.
Definitely Turn 2 might be an action point tonight, maybe even a trouble point for some, as these trucks will get snappy depending on your setup coming up out of that corner. But, Swamp, same question to you. What are you looking out for tonight?
I think you guys hit the nail on the head with Turn 2. Tends to be very loose. Kind of seems the car wants to go down the track, which may lead to some guys running the apron coming off the exit. And sometimes that can get loose and spin you around. So it's definitely, that the yellow line there going around the corner, it's not necessarily where the apron and the track meet. It's an interesting corner.
All right. Also on the track layout, turns 1 and 2 are completely different than turns 3 and 4, kind of like Texas Motor Speedway, except in reverse. Turns 1 and 2 are a little bit more fast, a little bit faster, more banking. Turns 3 and 4 is a little bit flatter. You got to slow down a little bit more. So 2 different ends of the track you got to set your truck up for. Who's going to be able to set it up the best tonight, Jim?
Man, I think you were pretty much on spot when you said Kev Brogard and Decent House. Those 2 guys have been sensational since Charlotte and Homestead. So those are the guys I'm kind of looking out for. But you've got to keep your eye on some of those playoff guys like K. Keenitz and Marksman. I feel like they'll be up there as well.
So the 7 playoff drivers that are going to be in the field tonight with Jaw out are going to be K. Keenitz 22. We've got DeadShotClaps-YT. We've got Moffitt, Marksman Jr. 7123, KronksFightMilk, Lieutenant Dangles, and GMR Reap 607. So, Swamp, out of those 7 playoff drivers, which one do you think has the best shot to be able to come out of here with either the points lead or maybe even clinching their way to Las Vegas?
Out of those guys, I think the best 2, and I can't put it in I just can't figure out what pick one. The best 2 I feel that have a chance to win tonight, K. Keenitz and Deadshot Claps. Both are very fast at our intermediate tracks. And K. Keenitz, he's been leading a couple times this season, even with Jaw racing, and it just hasn't worked out for him. He's either shot himself in the foot, but I do think tonight could be a night that he could get himself done. Also looking, just watching the cutoff line, kind of interested to see what momentum Lieutenant Dangles carries over from last week, clinching in or getting it in the last 2 laps for the most part. So interested to see what he's got.
For sure, Lieutenant Dangles has got some momentum on his side. He clinched the 8th and final spot in the playoffs last week in stunning fashion. Shocked all of us. And managed to squeak into the playoffs by 1 singular point. So over the course of 14 races in the regular season, 1 point was the deciding factor between making the playoffs and not making the playoffs. So drama reigns supreme here, as always, in the Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series. But a common guy that both of you guys said tonight was K. Keenitz 22. He finished runner-up in our point standings in the regular season. So carrying with him 10 extra bonus points for this round of the playoffs. So he's looking to build upon that and make his way into Las Vegas tonight, especially with Jaw out. So these guys right now are about to wrap up qualifying, so we'll get the results to you here in just a minute. But what do you think we're going to see out of the 75 laps out here tonight? Are we going to see a pretty clean race? Or are we going to see a lot of beating and banging with the playoffs starting, intensity ramping up? Jim, what are we in store for?
I think it's going to be a lot of people trying to feel out each other and the track. Like you said, turns 1 and 2, a lot more throttle time, a lot more space, it feels like. But and then 3 and 4, you kind of have to dive bomb to make passes there. So we'll have to see how patient everyone is. But, I mean, I think we're in for a good one. I think it's going to be
looks like Deadshot was able to win the So Deadshot Claps might be on the pole. We will find out in just a second as the 18 trucker his spot in Las Vegas. Totally different tracks in this playoff round. These guys are going to have to go through Kentucky tonight. They've got Bristol next week and New Hampshire in 2 weeks. So that's definitely going to test each driver's abilities and how they can adapt to these different tracks. But as we load in here to the lobby, pole is going to go to Kev Brogard was second. Deadshot Claps, your pole sitter with a 31.750. So that's 2 points in the bag for Deadshot already.
Yeah, to Swamp's point, that was the fastest on the daily leaderboard for the Ganders Outdoor Truck Series at Kentucky, so good call there, Swamp.
All right, do you guys need any invites or anything once we hop in here?
I got 2 of them.
All right.
Yeah, Swamp, if you could just send me like 3.
Yep.
Yeah, let me make sure we are good to hop in. As we wait for Keenitz to set the lobby up here. Got a bunch of viewers tuning in tonight. We've got Ty Norder looking for Deadshot Claps to win tonight. We've got Steve, Ballistic, Jagboy, Kyle. Good evening, everybody tuning in tonight. This race is sure to be a good one.
Is Huff and Puff out there? Shout out Huff and Puff. Yeah, buddy.
No, Swamp. He is not.
That's a darn shame. But we've got a lot of different guys in here, so hopefully it's a good race for everyone to watch.
It looks like we're going to have a field of 13. We're kind of in a holding pattern at the moment. One of the drivers had his power go out a few minutes ago, so we're hoping he can hop back in, but it's not looking likely. So looks to be 13 drivers on the track tonight.
You know his power is going to turn on a minute after they load into the lobby. That's just how life works.
Yeah, it brings a whole new dynamic to the NARL, and attendance to these races is, we're kind of getting into severe thunderstorm season now, and, some people might be getting severe thunderstorms while a league race is going on. Hopefully it doesn't affect the playoffs too much for other guys, but, God of War, if he was in the playoffs, it would be a pretty big blow.
And I'll be dead honest, you bring that up, I've probably got some storms rolling through tonight. Tomorrow, I think we're in a bullseye for some severe weather, so.
Oof. Yeah, you got that tropical depression heading up your way. Some of that rain's going to kick off of that, and Ohio's going to be swamped, if you see what I did there.
We're not supposed to get a bunch of rain. I think they're just worried about some wind shear off these storms.
As we are holding just a minute for God of War to see if he can make it, but if not, we will be rolling here shortly.
If not, I'm gonna start to protest.
Oh, Swamp, you're on it tonight, there, bud.
I'm glad I'm on a roll.
So while we're waiting here, let's recap the wins on the season. Jaw with 5, Deadshot with 2, Marksman with 1. Those are your only winners, alongside Decent House, who isn't in the playoffs. He has 2, and you have a bunch of guys that just made one start. You had Steve-O, Jagboy, Mac, and Wasted. All those guys with 1 win. But going back to the playoffs, K. Keenitz, Moffitt, Kronks, Lieutenant Dangles, GMR, all of those guys without wins. So we'll have to see if one of those guys can break that bad curse tonight.
Yeah, there's a couple of those guys have been in positions to win, and I know they're really hungry for one. Just haven't tasted victory lane yet this season, but tonight could be the night.
Yeah, I think if K. Keenitz can avoid the apron and the wall and keep it between the lines, I think he's good to go, man. I think it's going to be his race to win.
All right, waiting for Keenitz to unpause the lobby here. Looks like they're about getting ready to go. I'm hoping he will notify me when I can join. So we've got just a few more seconds. The countdown's at about 15 until the race. And the stream's about 10 seconds behind, so we'll be able to join here in just a second.
Gator, who's your predictions to move on tonight? Who you think's going to get it done?
Well, I in the league Discord today, I put out my Truck Series playoff predictions. And for the winner tonight at Kentucky, I chose a non-playoff driver. So I'm kind of looking at Decent House or Kev Brogod to bring home the dub tonight. And that would allow 2 drivers to advance on points by the end of this round. So a non-playoff driver winning could definitely change some things. As I am getting tagged, it looks like we are good to load in. So I'm going to go ahead and go blue screen here for just a minute.
Good point. Kev Brogod and Decent House, both very fast every week. So.
All right, we're going to go ahead and load in on to Kentucky Speedway for the buckle up in your truck. Call it 112.5 since we're running a 50% race tonight. 75 laps around this 1.5 miles in Sparta, Kentucky. The race will already be in progress by the time we load in, so we're going to be just a lap or 2 late on the action. Looks like they're coming around to take lap 2 here with Deadshot. Still in the lead. K. Keenitz 22 in second. Kev Brogod is going to be in 3rd place. As it appears the fight is going to be back around 5th, 6th on back. These guys still scrambling for position here early on in this race. Got single file pretty quickly. K. Keenitz closing in right on the bumper at Deadshot Claps.
Yeah, that draft. Using that draft tonight.
Yeah, draft may play a factor here tonight. This is a pretty fast super speedway as K. Keenitz dives into turn 3 and 4. Does wash up into Deadshot just slightly. Deadshot hasn't made too many friends on the track this season, Jim and Swamp. Do you think that's going to play into how he's raced here in the playoff?
It could. I think, and I think that whole thing kind of started when Deadshot got a little aggressive, throwing a block there, getting in the 3.
All right,
you go ahead.
To cut you off there, Jim, but Kev Brogod is underneath K. Keenitz here for the lead, side by side, looking to take the point here early in the 44 truck. He is going to clear and take the lead.
Yeah, going back to what you said about Deadshot as he's battling with the, I believe that's 99 of Avenged Fail. Yeah,
Oh, Avenged Fail misses his entry to turn 1, Jim, and washes up, puts Deadshot right in the wall.
yeah, Deadshot definitely hasn't made the most friends. It doesn't even really matter if he made contact with somebody, but other people have been scouting how he's raced his competition these last couple weeks, so you will have to put it into account that not many guys are going to be too friendly to him.
And I can speak from experience, you do not want to be around him on the track.
Swamp has been on the receiving end of some of that before, earlier this season. Not going to go too far into depth of that, as we've got to fight for the lead again as Kev Brogard washes up out of turn 2. Kate Keenis is going to try to take 2 trucks for 1 here going down the backstretch.
Yeah, being really aggressive in the...
Not going to be able to get alongside the 44, but he does get alongside the 51 as they are side by side coming to the start-finish line here at Kentucky. Kay Keenitz here early on, looking like the strongest playoff driver in the early laps.
Yeah, and that 24 of Kay Keenan says he cleared the 51 of Deadshot, or not Deadshot, excuse me, Decent House. Those two had a little bit of a disagreement on pit road at Talladega just a couple weeks ago, so keep an eye on that.
As I don't look now, but Deadshot, even after that contact with the wall from Avenged, has worked his way back up to these top 3. Maybe with some help from draft here at Kentucky, as most tracks with these trucks, draft plays a huge factor with these things. With the lesser horsepower, as Kev Brogard washes up again altitude, looks like he's battling a tight condition here early on. Decent Kate Keenitz is going to look underneath for the lead. He's going to take the point back. So Kate Keenitz to the front, looking to bag some stage points.
Yeah, now if you can maybe break that draft.
Kay Keenan's got a push from Decent House going down the front stretch. That's going to allow him to get a pretty decent gap. Kev Brogard goes all the way back to 4th as the bottom 3 get underneath of him. He's going to look back inside Deadshot here at turns 3 and 4. Decent House is going to take a peek under the 24. These guys are fighting hard here early on in Kentucky.
Yeah, but if I'm these two, you know, I might just want to say, hey, let's work together here and see if we can't put a little separation on these guys behind us. You know, I do believe Decent House and Kev Brogard are good friends outside of this, so.
Yeah, they've been racing with each other for a while now, as Decent House gets his nose underneath the 24 truck finally, coming out of turn 4. Looking to get his first taste of the lead here tonight. Going into turn 1, he's going to slide up just a little bit, has to let off the gas. Kay Keenan is going to try to use that momentum around the high side, and it is going to carry him. He's going to be able to defend the top position and get a run down the backstretch.
You know, I kind of noticed too earlier in the run that outside, there seemed to be a little bit of speed on that outside. You had Kikinitz and Deadshots working together on the outside there. They didn't lose a whole lot of spots there. It's going to be something to watch tonight.
Ooh, you had a fight for second place. Kev Brogard gets around Decent House. Looks like Deadshot's going to get around Decent House. And Kay Keenitz is loving seeing this in his mirror. He's trying to break that draft and get away.
You know, Gators, all this battling is going on. I'm paying attention to 5th place right now, Moffitt. We haven't seen much of him in the regular season for stage points, but here he is. He's up here in 5th, battling marksman.
Yeah, Moffitt is 9 points down from the cutoff line heading into this race, so he needs to get as many points as possible. And 5th place pays 1 point here in stage number 1.
That thing looks hooked up right now. He's right on the bumper of Decent House.
He was also in the top 10 on the leaderboard for today.
Yeah,
Speed was
already within 5 to go here in stage number 1. Quick stages here in the Truck Series. Flag here from myself, it looks like, so I'm going to go ahead. 4 to go. Wonderful.
Oh boy.
I've got another invite, so I'll be able to hop back in here, but thanks for that. And the server lag there, 704.
Well, for the time being, K. Keenitz has broken out probably a 3-car length lead over the 18 of DeadShot, who just got around the 44 of... that was Kev Brogod. And the 51 of Decent House just got around Kev Brogod as well. So right now, your top 5, K. Keenitz in first, the 18 of DeadShot in second, the 51 of Decent House in third, and Kev Brogod in fourth.
Yeah, you guys are going to have to keep track of the laps to go here on one of the streams.
Uh-oh.
I'm watching Kevin's. We're good.
Good thing you are, because Kevin he's actually broken out a pretty good lead now. He's got 5 car lengths over that second place.
Should be about 2 to go here in the stage, if I'm not mistaken. I think I missed about 2 laps.
And they are coming to...
Coming to the white flag.
Yep, they're coming to the white flag here.
All right, as K. Keenitz... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, those guys got battling for second and allowed K. Keenitz to pull away. Now you got Moffitt under here looking for more stage points.
That was my point, was K. Keenitz loved seeing all that fighting in his mirror. He just pulled out to a significant gap here. Oh, as he hits the wall going into turn 1. Big mistake from the 24 truck.
No.
That could cost him the stage. That could cost him some points here. DeadShot's going to look underneath. K. Keenitz with a huge mistake. He had a huge lead.
Oh, he's going to lose a couple positions here. Is the 51 going to get underneath him as the 44 gives him a little bit of a
wow. Unforced error by the driver of the 24 truck is going to cost him 3 points right here. From 6 points down to 3 in stage number 1. DeadShot is going to win stage number 1. Followed by Kev Brogod, K. Keenitz, Marksman works his way up to 4th, and Decent House rounding out your top 5.
You know, it just seems like K. Keenitz, if there's a time, a place, any way, how, he's going to choke it away.
Wow, K. Keenitz with an unforced error going into 1, had stage 1 wrapped up, and just messed up. Lost the stage, gave it away to DeadShot, another playoff rival here, so that's not what he wanted to do.
In the grand scheme of things, I don't think it hurts Keenitz too much, but it still, you know, stings you a little bit.
Yeah. As the 18 truck maximizes points in stage 1, adds 6 points to his total here in the playoffs, so big for him. We line up here for stage number 2. Somebody, looks like DocShock's either played strategy or didn't pit.
And he did not pit.
He did not pit, so he's going to pull out of the way. Unforced error on the driver of the 16. So DeadShotClaps back out front. The 44 closes in onto the left rear quarter panel of the 18. Going down the back stretch. Check up from the 18 slightly. Allows the 44 to get right back up on his bumper and going to get a push from Decent House coming out of the corner. Ooh, a block from the 18.
Not the right time to be making enemies, man.
Look at the 51 charge to the outside right there, trying to look around the outside of his friend. I won't say his teammate, but his friend. He's looking to make that outside work.
Yeah, he's trying to make a power move with that 51 truck, and right now it looks like he might get a run here off of turn 4 and make it work. It's going to be close. No, he's not able to clear, but he still is hanging right there tough on the outside of the 44 truck.
And they both still have the draft of this 18 to DeadShot, so, you know, they're still in that draft. They're still right closed up on the bumper.
Ooh, the 51 gets the wall. That's going to end that battle for second place. Good side-by-side racing for a lap and a half there between Decent House and Kev Brogod. Kev Brogod going to hang on to that position as Decent House made some slight contact with the wall off of 2.
And honestly, that's not the worst thing. It gets these guys back single file to get back in the draft to that 18. Now they can work their way back up.
Exactly, and that's just what they've done right here.
Oh, is the
Yeah,
44
caution.
looked like he...
Awesome.
Yeah, it looked like he might have got a little bit loose, but that might have just been a caution. Let's go see. Looks like DeadShotClaps is around. Lieutenant
Right
Dangles
around.
has got some damage.
Back up the irons.
Up the irons,
Agent.
KronksFightMilk. We had a big accident back here in the back.
Agent Chancho looks to be clean. Yeah, I'm not really sure what happened there. A little bit of strategy to play here. See if some guys come to pit road and
Who takes 2, who takes 4, who doesn't pit. You don't necessarily have to pit in these stages, but we're about to find out who does
not
what.
a whole lot of wear on the left sides right now by the looks of it. I don't know if taking 2 tires would give you an advantage or not, but maybe they'd come in here and take 2.
Looks like everybody stayed true to form, took 4 tires here.
Our top 4 stayed out, I believe.
Oh, did they?
Indeed,
All right, top
everybody
4
behind
stayed
them
out,
pit.
so 5th place. Moffitt, first to come down pit lane. Might be able to use that to his advantage and work his way up through here with those fresh tires. So they do matter. It will give him a slight advantage here.
Oh, the 24 gives a shot to the 18 for the lead. That 18's hooking the bottom, though, making sure to block the 24.
We've got 3 wide back here. Oh, Avenge. Dangles makes some contact in the middle of a 3 wide. Reap on the outside. He's not liking this. That's a playoff driver.
Gonna have to give a little bit here, I would think.
Oh my goodness. We have got a hornet's nest back here. Mid-pack.
We'll be coming to 6 to go here.
6 to
Oh,
go.
the
Stage
18
number
missed
2.
it. The 18 missed the corner. That's going to allow the 44 to get beat. Oh, no, he puts a block on him. This is going to be a crash. That's a huge crash.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have a crash. Kev Bro down through the grass. Dangles down through the grass. Doc cutting the lawn. Is that going to bring out a caution?
We are
So
still
far,
green.
no.
That does not bring out a caution. That hurts Moffitt the
And there
most.
it is. Caution.
Just
And
let me
that
know if
all started with the accordion effect from our leader missing the turn 3 mark. He entered a little too low, and it just didn't give him the nice run off or in through the middle.
Swamped
And
that
it
in the
just
stage.
huge accordion effect.
No, it didn't.
All right, looks like we might have a 1-lap shootout then here to decide stage number 2.
I don't believe.
Maybe 2 laps.
So, Marksman who took tires. Well, you got a couple guys with some fresh tires up there in the top 5 right now. Marksman, KronksFightMilk. They took 2 tires there in that earlier caution.
Kronks in that 2 truck out of nowhere managed to get around all that chaos and has found himself inside the top 5.
Yep. So far, it doesn't look like not a lot of guys pitting here. Oh no, quite a few.
DeadShotClaps, KronksFightMilk stay out here.
Sure, I was surprised to see K. Keenitz come in there.
Is this the 1-lap shootout here, Swamp?
I can tell you in a second. Come on, game.
Oh,
No,
the
we've got.
20
We'll be
iron
coming to 2 to go.
Okay, coming to 2 to go.
Yep.
Okay, so we got a 3-lap restart here. I thought we were a little bit closer to the end of stage 2 than that. But here we are, going to come to 2 to go here in stage number 2. DeadShotClaps out front, liking what he sees behind him, stretching out his lead, looking to sweep the stages here tonight. 2 to go.
That too of KronksFightMilk. He can be aggressive with the 18, but he's also got to keep it in his mind that he is on, I believe, season-wide probation. Like, he cannot make too many dirty moves without being penalized for it.
KronksFightMilk also comes into this race 10 points below the cutoff line, so he's just got to be safe here to end stage number 2. Gain as many points as he can. Going to come to 1 to go here in stage 2. DeadShotClaps, your leader. KronksFightMilk and Marksman are touring each other side by side for 2nd place.
3 wide.
They go up the track. Decent House is going to take them both in corner number 1. Decent house to the
Oh,
outside of
the 18
DeadShot.
missed it again. The 18 missed turn 3 again. What's the 45 going to do here?
He's going to split it 3 wide, but DeadShot Claps is going to be able to hold off the field, take stage number 2, Marksman in second, Decent House third, KronksFightMilk in fourth, and Moffitt picking up a stage point here in stage number 2 to round out your top 5. So DeadShot sweeps the stages tonight. That's 12 points already he's earned in this race, plus the pole, so 14 total. He's looking pretty good right now, fellas.
Yeah, and I don't know what the 18 is doing in turn 3. Maybe he's trying to play defensive. Maybe he's just missing his mark just a little bit, but it is just creating havoc back here in the middle of the pack. I mean, these guys are having to go 3 wide and split each other, making sure they don't run over each other. So it's just see how that progresses as the night goes on.
Yeah, 4 of the top 5 in that stage were playoff drivers. So racking up those points tonight.
Exactly. I'm going to be interested to see some of those guys that pit there at the end of the stage don't have to come to pit road here.
Looks like the 98 of Moffitt might have stayed out. Pulling a little bit of strategy in that number 98, white and black, TJR Ford. Moffitt is always a contender. He's very consistent in terms of his finishes. He kind of sneaks up in there into the top 5 by the end of these races when we don't really expect him to, and he's just always there as DeadShot looks to get underneath of him in turns 3 and 4. Not going to get there. Gets a bump from Marksman.
Yeah, there he goes again, missing turn 3. The 45 looks under him. Sorry, Swamp, go ahead.
I was just going to say, Moffitt seems to does his work quiet. He doesn't make a lot of noise. He's just low on the radar kind of guy, but definitely has a lot of speed.
Oh, Marksman washes up the track, misses his mark going into turn 1. That's going to move DeadShot up the track, allows a lot of drivers to get underneath that 18.
Oh my goodness, what in the... Okie dokie. Well, a huge crash right here for the 18. It looked like a little contact. He doored the 3 down the track, and he's going to get the worst of it.
Yeah, the caution's not going to come out for that. I don't know what just happened there, but it looked like the 18 might have just doored the 3 truck going down the backstretch, and then after that it just triggered a chain reaction.
Yeah,
he got the worst of that.
It looked like it caused the 3 to miss his entry.
So huge mistake here involving one of your playoff drivers here tonight. The dominating truck here tonight, DeadShot Claps, involved with a late accident here in stage 3 with no caution.
Yeah, and he won stage 1 and stage 2, so that's just one other guy that's eliminated from this race, barring a caution. Some other guy smells some blood in the water right now.
That's huge there for DeadShot Claps. He's lucky he got all those stage points. As Marksman looks underneath the 98 truck here for the lead.
See what that 45 has. He was also in top 10 on leaderboard for fastest laps posted. See if he's got anything.
Kev Rogod followed him through, as looks like the bumpers got hooked just a little bit going down the front stretch. Moffitt with a great save.
A little side note here, a guy that we thought was also pretty fast tonight, K. Keenitz. He pit there and put himself back in the pack, and he still finds himself in 9th place, about 2 seconds off the lead.
This field is looking to get spread out here. Marksman Kev Brogard got a decent gap over 3rd place. KronksFightMilk and Moffitt back there battling for that. That's Kay Keenitz, one of the playoff favorites coming into the night, is back towards the back of the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9th place right now for the 24 truck. Right in front of him, you see another playoff driver. That's Reap in that all-black number 32, running in 8th. And I think that might be DeadShot right there in 7th. It is DeadShot right here in 7th place. So good run for the 16 Toyota.
Battle right here for 4th. It's not going to be much of a battle. Avenged Fail clears for 4th. Pretty impressive from Avenged Fail. He's been on the wrong side of a lot of accidents this season in the Truck Series, but in 4th right now. Hopefully I didn't just curse him.
Yeah, and that puts his...
Go ahead.
I was just going to say that puts his teammate in front of him in 3rd, see if they maybe get hooked up and try to draft up to the leaders here.
Yeah, that's what we haven't mentioned too much tonight, though, is Avenged Fail. Just has snuck his way up here into the top 5 late in this race. These guys are going to have to pit here in stage 3. Green flag pit stops. Every broadcast, you guys know how I love green flag pit stops.
Oh yeah. So they're coming as they just cross the line with 30 to go.
30 to go here in the final stage of the North American E-Racing League's Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series at Kentucky Speedway. The 99 gets into the wall coming off of turn 2. Doc Shock's evasive maneuver. Reap just goes full send around the outside. Got 2 trucks there.
So would you call that a delayed? Would you call that a delayed commentator curse? Because that took two or three laps before it happened. After I said he was doing so well.
It could. I mean, you took 2 or 3 laps for me to wreck at the Roval last season after you gave me the commentary curse.
Oh, we got a battle for the lead.
Granted.
Pass for the lead.
Go back up here to the lead. Kev Brogod has found his way around Marksman.
Yeah, and I've been paying attention to that 44's line in 3 and 4, and he's able to go below that little yellow line. He's able to get it right where the flat of the track meets the banked area of the track. It's pretty fun to watch, actually. And that 44 just looks really fast.
Moffitt's still there in 3rd place with a couple laps older tires, making him work, hanging in there. Use strategy to gain some great track position here. And he's hanging on. He might have to pit a little bit earlier than the rest of these guys, but that could work in his favor as well.
I don't think that's going to hurt you too much having to pit earlier.
Yeah, get those fresh tires, get a couple of hot laps in, and could find himself right up here with Kev Bro and Marksman once these pit stops end up cycling through whenever we have them.
'99 might be heading to pit road. He dropped on the bottom there. I don't know if he's just giving up the spot, but
he might have gotten loose there coming off of 2. That trouble spot that we mentioned pre-race. Looks like that's what happened.
Yeah, the 24 and 99, 2 guys that did not have the best of times racing around each other in Chicago. Just see how that all works out. Looks like without problem.
All right, Kay Keenitz picks up another point, or another spot as well. Each spot is a point.
Oh, he closed up a ton on KronksFightMilk right in front of him, and that's actually going to stop him up a little bit. 99's going to be part of this discussion again.
Yeah, I've been watching this battle on Keenitz's stream here. It looks like the 2's holding both these guys up here.
Keenitz looking to find his way around. Avenged Fail's going to use the apron to try to get some bite. Not going to work. They lose a little bit of ground to Kronks. Not too much, as both these trucks do appear faster than that 2 truck at this point in the race.
Yeah, but if you're the 2, you got to hold them off. I mean, you're heading to pit stops. Track position matters here at Kentucky. You got to hold them off.
Run your line.
Decent House made his way around Moffitt for 3rd. A little bit of housekeeping there as Marksman gets into the wall for turn 2. That's going to allow Kev Brogod to get way out front. Mistake there from the 45 truck. Not gonna ruin his night. Still in contention for this thing, but definitely doesn't help.
Come to pit road a lap or 2 earlier.
.45 gets a little bit loose, coming off a 1 and 2.
Runs 99 of Avenged Failed, just pancaked the wall out of 2, getting behind. I think it's just a little dirty air off of the 2 truck, but yeah, he pancaked the wall.
There's Marksman right here in the 45 truck running in P2. He is your highest running playoff driver currently. Kev Brogard in first. Not championship eligible, as is Decent House in third place. And they have got a big gap over Moffitt in fourth. Everybody's pretty spread out now. Behind Moffitt, though, is that's Reap up in the top 5 in that 32. Lodestar Chevrolet.
Looks like that 51 of Decent House is starting to catch up to the 45 of Marksman. Again, track position matters here. You got to fight off for every position you can coming into these green flag pit stops. Interested to see how hard the 45 makes it on the 51.
We've got one truck coming down pit road. It looks like KronksFightMilk is going to be the first to hit pit lane. A little bit of strategy on the part of the 2 truck. There he is.
Yeah, they've got about 6 laps of fuel. Front tires are front rights at about 20%.
So early pit stop for the 2. I assume he knows he's within his fuel window to make it to the end.
Yes, I believe so. They're coming to 19 to go here.
Okay, they should be well within their window.
Yes.
And while we were talking about that, the 51 of Decent House has made it around the 45 of Marksman without any problem whatsoever. The 45 just gave him the inside turn 3.
Moffitt comes to pit road. Yeah, a couple guys coming to pit road here.
Yeah, there's Moffitt. Avenged Fail. TJ, our teammates here.
Teammates, dead shots, makes his way on pit road. I'm sure he's going to have some damage to repair. Oh, Kev Brogard. The leader coming to pit road.
Reap coming to pit lane. That pit window is open and everybody is taking advantage of it right now. A few drivers stay out. Doc Shock's looking to come to pit lane.
I believe you can make it on 2 tires here, but I just don't know if there's much to gain by taking 2 with this far to go yet in the run.
Yeah, with still 15 or so laps to go, that'd be a big risk on 2 tires. It might not be, for some of these guys it might be worth it, but some you just can't do that, I don't think.
No. Kate Keenan's on pit road here. I believe he's going to be one of our last playoff drivers on pit road.
Last ones to hit pit lane. He was hoping for a caution to come out as he was out on the racetrack, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen for him tonight.
No, and 45 seemed to be on pit road for a long time.
I know, I was just about to mention that. Did he get a penalty?
I don't know. He must have.
Better damage.
He definitely had a penalty.
Oof.
Or damage, one of the 2, but I never saw him go around, so big mistake there by the 45.
Are you sure? Because Moffitt's still behind him. I don't know if both of them got penalties, but Moffitt is still, I mean, he's closer to the 45, but that's kind of how they were running before the pit stops.
All right, Ty and Jag, if you could please take your conversation elsewhere and out of the chat here. Don't need that kind of drama in the chat. But back to the race, it looks like the 45 was on pit road for an extra long time because the 98 of Moffitt is right back up on his bumper.
And Kate Keenitz is right, not right behind them, but he definitely gained time on them, I want to say, right?
Yeah, the 51 just came out of pit road for his service, and he's right in front of these guys. I don't think there was any penalty. I think it was just an abnormally long stop.
Yeah, 51 pitted awfully late. Comes out right in front of the 45 truck. That's going to put, should be Kev Brogard out in the lead.
It does.
With a substantial gap. Substantial gap for Kev Brogard. So he was the one that benefited most from those pit stops.
He was one of the first ones on pit road.
As Decent House tries to make his way around the lap truck of Agent Chancho in the 0-2. He'll be able to do that cleanly. And now he sets his sights on Kev Brogard. It looks like he's got about 4 or so seconds to make up here. That's a lot of time. It looks like Chancho held up Marksman a little bit as he tried to get around. Marksman going to try the high side around the 0-2.
Man, if you're Marksman, you don't want to be burning your stuff up trying to get around a lap truck here.
He's going to be able to clear Chancho off of 2. It definitely held him up, though, because Moffitt is right back on his bumper.
Yeah, so if you're that 45, you're definitely not happy with that 0-2 at all.
He also washes up out of turn 4, comes really close to the wall, stays off of it.
I could be wrong here, guys, but it looks like that 51 to Decent House is slightly closing that gap. He has those fresher tires. Remember, he pitted a little later. Closing in that gap on his friend of Kev Brogard right now.
He's got a long way to go, though, Jim, and only so many laps to do it. I know they're ticking down here.
I'll get you an update here in about half a lap.
Yeah, and those tires are going to start wearing out a little more. It's going to be harder for him to take advantage of the new rubber.
There's the 45 and the 98 of Moffitt and Marksman are
coming to 10 to go.
Coming to 10 to go here. Moffitt and Marksman are right on top of each other here for 3rd place. That's one more position, one more point for Moffitt if he can get around Marksman, and that also takes away a point from his playoff rival here.
Battle for 5th back here between K. Keenitz 22 and GMR Reap 607. K. Keenitz is going to take that spot away easily. Take that
he was about 2 seconds behind those guys when he came out of pit road.
That's going to move Keenitz here into 5th place. So rebounding here from a rough start to stage 3, maybe even a rough night in total. Going to get around Reap here for a top 5. Don't know if he's going to be able to gain any more spots than that as they make their way around the lap truck of Chancho.
Why is... Oh, can't say it, we're on stream. Okay.
And if you're that 24, I mean, you know, tonight might not be the night you were looking for, but it's not a busted night. You can still get good points out of it to propel yourself going into, I believe, Bristol. And, you know, it all pays forward towards the championship run. So just get yourself a good night tonight. Don't press the issue. You have pretty much a 5th place truck right now. Just keep it all in one piece.
We've seen a fairly clean race tonight, I must say. But next week... Not to look ahead too far, but it's Bristol. Bristol, baby. And that is the first short track on the schedule, the first and only. I mean, if you want to count Eldora, then it'd be the second. But the first paved short track of the season, so it's a true wild card for this series. Looks like Up the Irons engine might have expired here late in the going. The 20 truck sitting on pit lane, not moving. So it looks like the 20 trucks night is over. As we are near the end of this thing, Decent House has reeled off about, second and a half, maybe 2 seconds on Kev Brogard here.
He's getting there, man. It's just, it might be too little too late with the timing of it, but great strategy from Decent House. If only he had a couple more laps.
Yeah, Decent House pitted way later than everybody else, but because of that, it's given him a lot fresher tires than everybody else, and he's using that to his advantage here.
Come into 5 to go.
Coming to 5 to go here. Can Kev Brogard hang on and pick up his first career North American E-Racing League victory here tonight? Or is his friend, his buddy, his teammate, Decent House, going to be able to run him down and pick up his third? It's going to be close. That 51 is flying right now.
And I've been watching the last couple laps on board the 51 of Decent House, and he's just so much faster going into turn 3. Maybe gains 2 or 3 tenths right there, but 1 and 2, it looks like Kev Brogod's pretty much able to equal him out. Should be interesting.
It's going to be close here, Jim, as they round turn 4 yet again. Looks we're going to have 4 to go, as the 51 inches ever so closer.
Low lap traffic in front of the 44 of Kev. I don't know if he's going to get to it, but that might play a factor here.
To note, Marksman is still running in P3, your highest running playoff driver here.
Oh, he just gained another, maybe 3 or 4 tenths right there, it looked like. He just sailed it into 3, and he has the tires to make it stick with 3 laps to go.
3 to go here in the NARL is a buckle up in your truck 112.5 here at Kentucky Speedway. We are watching the 2 leaders here. The 51 is closing in ever so slightly on the 44. Don't know if he's going to have enough to get there, but it's going to be awfully close. As we are rounding 3 and 4, coming to the penultimate lap, 2 to go here.
If he just had maybe 1 or 2 more laps, he would easily take the lead, but I just don't know, man, if it's enough.
Truck had a really clean 1 and 2 right there, but looks like he's going to fall just short tonight.
Oh, I was talking and I was muted.
Good job, Swamp. Barring a mistake from the 44, it's going to look like it's going to be him tonight. Coming toward the white flag, 1 to go here, Jim. Who's it sponsored by?
Credit One Bank.
Credit One Bank, baby, here in the North American E-Racing League. 1 to go. Kev Brogod still hanging on to the lead. Decent House.
Oh, he gained a ton there.
Yeah.
It's just not going to be enough, man.
Looking to pick up his 3rd win of the season, but it's not going to be enough. Kev Brogod, final time here through turns 3 and 4. Decent House is right there, but it's not going to be enough. Kev Brogod comes out of turn 4. Comes to the checkered flag, picks up his first career North American E-Racing League victory here tonight. Decent House, his best friend, his buddy here, is going to pick up P2. So a good run tonight from the 44 and the 51.
They really spoiled the playoff party.
Hey, I predicted before this race a non-playoff driver was going to win.
You did.
Marksman finishing P3, P4 being Moffitt, P5 being KK. Okay, so yeah, 3 playoff guys getting top 5 after that, but that little party spoiled it.
Decent House needed another lap or 2 to catch his buddy Kev Brogod, but what a race they put on here tonight for you guys that are tuned in watching this. Kev Brogod, first career victory here in the NARL. Swamp, I assume I'm going to have to suggest him to you. I doubt you have him on your list.
I bet I can find him though, because I'm just that good.
If you want to invite him and Decent House.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming for Kev. I mean, he's had a fast truck just about every single week. I remember Homestead specifically, he had a rocket ship of a truck, and I mean, just made that mistake on pit road. Nice little retribution to, get a win here at Kentucky.
Definitely. First career win here. I know he's going to be pumped about this. He's been so close in the races that he has run. I think he's finished P2 a couple times here.
Just to hammer it in a little more for Decent House, he had the fastest lap in that race.
As we are joined here by your winner tonight, Kev Brogod, make sure your voice is shareable. That way we don't have this issue like we had last time. But congratulations on your first career North American E-Racing League Truck Series victory. Boy, you had to hold off quite the challenge from Decent House, but congratulations. How'd you do it?
Oh man, just good strategy. You know, Decent House and I practiced this track a bunch of times this past week, and he usually beat me at this one, but I think when Dangles went low in turn 3 and took out DeadShotClaps, it clipped decent, and that kind of messed up his first half of stage 3, and I was able to have like a 2-second lead on him going into the pits, and that was that.
Yeah, you were able to just barely hang on. He had some fresher tires coming at you, but congratulations on picking up your first win. I know no, you're not in the playoffs, but still quite the accomplishment here. So congratulations on that. In the booth with me, like normal, I've got Big Jim and Swamp. So Jim, I'll let you go first. What kind of a question you got for our winner here tonight, Kev Brogod?
Yeah, man, Kev, congratulations on the win. Soak it in. First NARL win happening in the Truck Series.
Thanks, man.
Sorry, my question for you is, turn 2 seemed to be a trouble spot for most everyone in the field tonight. Was there anything you did in that truck to figure out turn 2?
Yeah, I kept it. I started a little bit tighter on the slider, and that seemed to keep the right rear on it a little bit longer. And just kind of letting it off into turn 1 and kind of just picking the throttle back up right away in the center and just kind of just driving it off pretty hard. Seemed to keep it on there. So.
Yeah, man, congratulations once again. I'll hand it off to Swamp Fox.
Hey, man, congrats on the dub tonight. I know you aren't in the playoffs this season, but does it kind of sting a little bit winning a playoff race and not being in the playoffs because you joined in, halfway through the season or however far it was?
A little bit. It would have been cool. I think if I had started the season off, I think maybe my buddy Decent House and I would have been in the playoffs, so that would have been nice to
sure.
have that would have been nice to have an automatic berth into Vegas for the final race. But I was just trying to give the playoff guys a lot of room. That shot doored me a couple times, and I was like, man, what did I do to this guy? but but no, it was good though. Big shout out to my Nice Motorsports teammate Marksman there. We had a good run going there in stage 3 and had a good battle off too, and I was able to hold it, and I think that was what sealed the deal.
All right, well, there you have it from your winner here tonight, Kev Brogod, who's still trying to make an impression for Season 3 of the NARL, and he did a great job of that tonight here by winning Kentucky Speedway. So, Kev, before we let you hop on out of here to celebrate your win, I know you shouted out Marksman, Decent House. Is there anybody else you want to give a little shout-out to before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm going to shout out the Spectrum Internet guy for coming on Saturday to fix this thing. Let it have no more lag outs. Shout out to the homegirl Natalie Decker for letting me drive her 44. I know she doesn't drive this in the game, but...
Yeah, the wonders of a good internet.
No, it's good.
All right, Kev. Well, once again, happy for you. Congratulations on your first career North American E-Racing League victory here tonight in Kentucky.
Thanks, fellas. Take it easy.
Yep. As a Swamp, if you can go ahead and get Kev's good buddy Decent House in here.
Hey, you just worry about talking, bud. Okay,
and there he is.
Worry about talking.
Look at you, Swamp. You're on top of the game. We are joined now by our runner-up here tonight, Decent House. You came so close to Kev right there at the end. I know you had some fresher tires. What else could you have done to get to one of your good buddies there and pick up this dub tonight?
It would take a lot less talented driver in first and a little bit better pit adjustment. A little bit better pit adjustment there on that pit stop. I was a little bit tight on that last run, so glad he got that first W though. He's been in the mix ever since he joined, and it's good to see him get a win.
Yeah, you guys definitely put on quite the show here tonight between you two. It was nice to see you two come home 1 and 2 after that performance tonight. But as always, I've got Jim and Swamp in the booth with me, and this time, Swamp, I'll let you go first. What kind of question you got?
I was trying to think of a question.
Well, you better think of one fast. I'm going to let you go first here. What you got for Decent House tonight?
No, so you played a little bit of an interesting strategy to us, as you seem to be the last one out of everybody to pit. And I was just wondering how much that helped you there towards the end, having a little bit of fresher tires catch up to your buddy, Kev.
Well, I mean, take it back to the beginning of stage 3. I fell back off on that start of stage 3 and was in there, battling with those guys, those playoff guys. Man, they were relentless tonight, and just got a little bit too far behind, and then made my way past Marksman to get up to second. And I was about a second and a half back at when Kev pitted, and I was thinking, if I pit with him, then we're going to be on the same tire. So I ran it long, something we tried in practice, and I actually caught him and passed him in practice. And I was thinking, if I can do that again, if I had the fresher tires at the end, it might help. And it did help. I just ran out of laps and everything. But he drove a good race, so he didn't make any mistakes at the end, and he deserved to win that one.
All right. Well, Jim, you're up next. What you got for our runner-up finisher here tonight, Decent House?
Yeah, man, I just have to say it's a shame that you did not hear about us earlier, because it would have been great seeing you in the playoffs, seeing how competitive you are every single week. It's just a shame. Hopefully next season you return. But my question for you, I asked Kev the same thing, but turn 2 seemed to be a trouble spot for most guys tonight. Was there anything you did on pit road that adjusted how you entered turn 2 or how you got around turn 2?
Not really. I mean, for me, I ran a little bit higher slider than what Kev did, so I had a little less, I had a little higher wedge than him, and we worked on this stuff throughout the week and everything, but no, I mean, you really got to be gentle with it off turn 2, especially late on in the run. Like stage 1, I was wrecking, and I was thinking to myself, I really don't want to crash one of these playoff guys. So I kind of backed off and bide my time through stage 1 and 2, and then I just made it too tight in stage 3. But just higher wedge, a little higher slider, mixes pretty well.
All right. Well, there you have it from your winner, or your runner-up here tonight, Decent House, who was so close to Kev Brogod picking up the win. But Decent. Next week we head to a Bristol Motor Speedway, first I'm all sorts of messed up right now. First short track, asphalt short track of the season, and only one. So what kind of truck you got for there next week?
Actually, Bristol's my favorite track on the game. So
well, there you have it, folks. It's a done deal.
I'm coming in full force, and I thought the playoff drivers, they raced tough and clean for the most part. I know Dangles and Deadshot got locked up there and almost took me out in one of those turns, but I know it's gonna be a throwdown. But I love Thunder Valley, so I'm ready. Let's roll.
All right. Before we let you get on out of here to go celebrate with Kev, anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I'll shout Kev out. I mean, he drove a good race, and we put in a little bit of time on this track because both of us really weren't that great to start the week, and shout out to you guys for putting it on. And I wish I would have found the league earlier. It would have been fun to be in the playoffs. So Jaw will be back next week, I'm sure, because he's going after that championship, and he'll be tough to beat. But I'll be ready to rock and roll.
All right, guys, your runner-up tonight, Decent House. Congratulations on your run tonight, and you're becoming quite the regular here in the booth for these interviews. So keep it up next week at Bristol. We'll see you then.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Swamp. Let's dial up Marksman and see how one of our playoff drivers is feeling after tonight's race.
Is he still even online?
Yeah, if you want to do that real quick, see if we can't get him in here.
I can do that. He's still online.
Good run for Marksman. I said that I was looking out for him at the beginning of the race, but we did that practice with him. He didn't seem the fastest, so I'm kind of surprised he was up there, but happy for him.
Yeah, Marksman definitely put on a show tonight. Best of all the playoff drivers this evening, other than maybe Deadshot, who got collected in an accident in stage 3. But Marksman seemed to be the most consistent, stayed out of trouble tonight, brought it home P3. Good points tonight for him. That's going to help him out heading into Bristol next week as we wait to see if he joins our party here for a post-race interview. go ahead and we'll check out the lap leaderboards. We'll just wait a couple more minutes for Marksman. Not going to wait too long for him.
Send another invite. I just spam his boxes with invites. I don't know how, but I ended up with like 18 invites.
Ooh.
Last night, so I'm not really sure what was going on. An Instagram phone call from somebody. Just confused.
Well, 1/1000th of a second separated Decent House from Deadshot on the fastest lap. That's pretty impressive.
That's what I'm looking at right now. Those guys definitely had the fastest trucks here tonight. Like I previously mentioned, Deadshot got collected in an accident, took him out of contention. But a bunch of stage points there should mitigate that poor finish tonight. Not going to wait too much longer here for Marksman. So, Jim, what did you see out of tonight's race that you liked? What do you think we're going to see next week as well at Bristol?
Man, I just saw, I saw a lot of aggressive racing, but not desperate racing. So I saw the playoff guys racing pretty tough against one another and their competitors. But, I mean, well, hold on. There's Marksman.
Marksman is going to join us here. We decided to change things up here and get our best finishing playoff driver from tonight. So, Marksman, how you feeling after your P3 run?
Oh, pretty good, pretty good. I got stage points in all the stages tonight. That felt really good. Seemed to be a struggle to get up there in the top 5 at the end of the stage throughout the season, but tonight I got it done.
Yeah, definitely 2 stage finishes, 2 stage top 5s, which is good points, and a great third place finish tonight. So you should have increased your gap over the cutoff line. How you feeling after that?
Feeling pretty good, especially going into Bristol there. Love Bristol. It's one of my favorite tracks to run.
I sense a little sarcasm.
No, I really love Bristol.
All right, still sensing more sarcasm, but go ahead.
You don't hear sarcasm. I just love New Hampshire.
All right, well, Marksman, you had a good truck tonight. It didn't look like you had a race-winning truck. No offense. It looked like you had about a third-place truck right where you finished. What more did you need out of that 45 Chevrolet to be able to go fight for the win tonight?
The 44 and the 51 not to be so far ahead of me.
All right. Well,
I for sure wasn't going to run them down. I didn't know what exactly I needed, but the truck felt good all night. Especially there when we got in the final stage, it felt really good.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, in the booth with me, I got a couple of your FBGM teammates. I got Big Jim and Swamp with me. Jim, what kind of question you got for our best playoff finisher here tonight?
Yeah, so congratulations on P3. A nice run to propel yourself further on into Bristol and New Hampshire. My question for you is, since you love Bristol so much, which line do you love more, the bottom or the top?
I kind of like the high groove. Like, the bottom line can work for a little bit, I feel like, and then things just seem to go up high after a while. From all the times I've raced at Bristol.
All right. Well, Marksman is short on words here tonight. Swamp, what kind of a question you got for him?
Yeah, we really didn't see up front there a whole lot until it seemed like you played a little bit of strategy and stayed out. You were kind of towards the front of the pack. Do you think that had anything to do with contributing to a good finish tonight?
I don't know. I didn't think I was playing much of strategy, to be honest with you. Except for there at stage 2. At the end of stage 2, I took 2 tires to kind of run those guys down, which it really helped actually there at the end of stage 2 because I got a second place finish out of it. But stage 3, I just kind of, I don't know. I just drove.
Okay, well, there you have it. Third place finisher here tonight, Marksman Jr., 7-1-2-3, highest finishing playoff driver tonight. Marksman, before we let you get on out of here, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I'll shout out Kev Bro, God and Decent House. They were obviously fast tonight. Maybe I'll have to get a couple pointers from them before we go to Bristol. And then other than that, my up boys at FBGM. Keenitz, gotta shout out my teammates that are in the playoffs, Keenitz and Dangles. They're gonna be in there getting it done. Hopefully we can go in there to Bristol and get all of us in the top 5.
Okay, well, Marksman Jr., 7123, third place finisher here tonight. Congratulations on that. You increase your margin over the cutoff line as we head into Bristol next week. So, feeling pretty comfortable. You, sir, we'll let you get on out of here. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
All right, Jim, Swamp. That wraps up Kentucky for tonight. Got Bristol Motor Speedway next week. Fireworks are sure to fly. First short track of the season. What do you expect out of there, Jim? Are we going to see chaos and carnage? Are we going to see bumpers being given? Or is it going to be surprisingly clean?
I think it's going to be the former over the latter. I think it's going to be, I mean, these guys going on a short track for the first time, there's going to be no shortness of action. Swamp, what do you think?
Yeah, no, same. I don't know how many we saw tonight, but definitely got some guys that run into each other, maybe some short tempers from tonight. Definitely Lieutenant Dangles and Deadshots. They ended up getting into each other tonight, so should be interesting to see next week, possibly.
Yeah, will we see some tempers next week? Will some playoff drivers be affected by those tempers? We will find out together. Truck Series action live next Tuesday night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time on this YouTube channel, as always, Bristol Motor Speedway. Before then, though, Xfinity Series playoffs begin tomorrow night at Kentucky Speedway. Looking for Jag Boy, OG Info, and the rest of them as they head there and tackle that mile and a half. And on Thursday, Cup Series will hit up Kentucky Motor Speedway for their first race of the playoffs. So you got Captain Killam and NR Lewis and Big Jim among the rest of them for the Cup Series. So that's going to be happening the next 2 nights here in the North American E-Racing League. And make sure you guys tune in for that. So as I wrap it up here, as always, tune in tomorrow night, Thursday night, and next Tuesday for some more NARL action. For Swamp Fox, for Big Jim, myself, Gator Mike 89, to all my gnarly ones out there, thank you guys. We appreciate your support. Thanks for tuning in as always. Hope you enjoyed the stream tonight. And we will catch you next time here on the North American E-Racing League. So have a good night, everybody.